Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I want to talk about something that most of us ignore until it becomes impossible to ignore: the signals your body sends you every single day. And I'm not talking about obvious symptoms like severe pain or dramatic weight loss. I'm talking about the quiet, persistent messages your digestive system has been sending you for months, maybe years, that you've been brushing off as just stress or something I ate. I used to do the same thing. A little bloating after lunch. Normal. Some cramping on a busy workday. Stress. Irregular digestion that seemed to follow no pattern at all. Just how my body works, I thought. But here's what research has been consistently showing us over the last decade: your gut doesn't lie, and it doesn't stay quiet forever. According to studies published in journals focused on gastroenterology and internal medicine, rates of inflammatory bowel conditions and functional digestive disorders among young adults between the ages of 18 and 35 have been rising steadily. Researchers point to a combination of factors: ultra-processed food consumption, chronic stress, disrupted sleep patterns, and a dramatic shift away from the dietary habits that our digestive systems were essentially built around over thousands of years of evolution. One study examining young adult populations in urban settings found that nearly 40% of participants reported recurring digestive symptoms that significantly affected their daily quality of life, yet fewer than half had ever discussed these symptoms with a healthcare provider. Think about that for a moment. Almost half of the young adults experiencing real, recurring digestive distress were just living with it, normalizing it, working around it. That hit close to home for me. Here's a way I like to think about this. Your gut is like a long, incredibly sophisticated communication network. Imagine a river system running through your body. When the river flows cleanly and freely, everything downstream thrives. The nutrients reach where they need to go, the waste exits efficiently, the ecosystem along the banks stays healthy. But when you start dumping debris into the river, low-fiber foods, excess sugar, alcohol, artificial additives, chronic stress hormones, things begin to clog. The current slows. Bacteria that shouldn't dominate start to multiply. And eventually, the whole system starts sending signals: bloating, irregular bowel movements, fatigue, skin issues, brain fog, even anxiety. Yes, anxiety. Research conducted over the past 15 years has fundamentally changed how we understand the gut-brain connection. What scientists now call the gut-brain axis describes a bidirectional communication highway between your digestive tract and your central nervous system. A study I found particularly striking showed that people with irritable bowel syndrome, one of the most common functional gut disorders in young adults, had measurably different gut microbiome compositions compared to healthy controls, and these differences correlated with both digestive symptoms and psychological distress. Your gut produces roughly 90% of your body's serotonin. That's not a small detail. That's your body telling you that digestion and mood are not separate conversations. So what does your body actually need? Based on what research keeps pointing toward, the answer is less dramatic than you might hope, and more sustainable than most trendy approaches suggest. Dietary fiber remains one of the most consistently supported nutritional factors for gut health across the scientific literature. Not a supplement, not an expensive powder, just the kind of fiber that comes from vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and fruit. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and sauerkraut have shown in multiple clinical trials to positively influence the diversity of gut microbiota, and microbial diversity is increasingly associated with lower inflammation and better digestive resilience. One study in a major nutrition journal followed young adults who increased their fermented food intake over a 10-week period. Participants showed measurable increases in microbial diversity and decreases in inflammatory markers in their blood. Not after years of effort. 10 weeks. That's the kind of data that should make us pause and reconsider what we're eating for breakfast. But food is only part of the picture. In a study examining the relationship between sleep quality and intestinal permeability, what some researchers informally call leaky gut, sleep-deprived participants showed significantly increased gut permeability markers after just a few nights of disrupted sleep. The gut lining, which is only one cell thick in some places, relies on rest to repair itself. When we consistently deprive our bodies of that repair window, we create the conditions for chronic low-grade inflammation, which over time can contribute to the development of more serious digestive conditions. Your body has been talking to you. The fatigue after certain meals, the bloating that shows up on high-stress days, the sluggishness that follows a week of poor sleep and convenience food. These aren't random, they're pattern. They're language, and the more fluent you become in reading them, the more agency you gain over how you feel, not just in your stomach, but across your entire system. So the next time your gut sends you a signal, don't mute it. Listen, because it's been trying to tell you something for a long time.